Chapter 61 Treasures at Hand. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In an open space ahead, a group of men in black robes were besieging two men and a woman, waving flying swords one after another. Obviously, they were the sword-controlling skills of the Tianjian sect. Senior brother, there are too many evil cultivators and we can't stand it anymore. Let's withdraw. At this time, one of the women said to the man beside him who was struggling to defend himself from the enemy. Evacuate? Where to retreat? I want to retreat too. Hearing this, the man looked at the men in black robes around him with a look of helplessness on his face. If it weren't for the fact that there were 5 people in black robes who were in the foundation building stage, they would have killed them all long ago. Get it quickly, they've already let the news out. At this time, a man wearing a black robe, dotted with gold threads, who looked like he had a high status said, hearing this, the man in black robe who rushed to kill became even more fierce. It's shocking. At this time, I heard a shout and punched one of the men in black robes. Before the man in black robes could react, his body flew to the side like a kite with its string broken, and hit the ground hard. No interest. Who? At this time, the leader roared angrily, his whole body full of momentum. The person who will take your life. Shi Jian roared angrily, shook his arm, drew his sword from behind and slashed at the man. Senior brother, just leave this person to me, and you can deal with the others. At this time, Yi Lin rushed out and punched the leader. Okay, junior brother, be careful. After Shi Jian finished speaking, he went to rescue the 3 Tianjian sect disciples who were surrounded. A disciple of the Qingyan sect, at this time, the leader obviously recognized Yi Lin. The clothes he wore were too conspicuous as he was a disciple of the Qingyan sect. As long as you know, 7 killing fists, kill. Yi Lin snorted coldly and struck the person in front of him in the face. Damn, tough guy. After saying that, the man in black robe ran away, followed closely by Yi Lin. The two of them ran and chased each other. In a short time, they had arrived outside the city. At this time, the man in black robe slowly put down his cloak, revealing an old face. Boy, I didn't expect you to have the courage to chase me. I respect you as a man. Remember, the person who took your life is Qingshan. After saying that, his cultivation level in the early stage of foundation building suddenly changed into his cultivation level in the middle stage of foundation building. Die. After Qingshan finished speaking, he struck Yi Lin in the face with a palm. In his eyes, Yi Lin was just a little kid in the early stages of foundation building and did not need martial arts at all. 7 killing fists, kill. Yi Lin was not afraid of this evil cultivator in the middle stage of foundation building and punched him head-on. Boom! A palm and a punch clashed, causing a huge wave of air and a burst of dust to scatter. Tap tap tap. At this time, Qingshan's expression changed and he took 3 steps back, looking at his trembling arms with horror on his face. He was a dignified monk in the middle stage of foundation building, but he fell into a disadvantage in a duel with a kid in front of him who was in the early stage of foundation building. Although it was a casual blow, it was not something that a kid in the early stages of foundation building could resist. Yi Lin, on the other hand, shook his arm. With the blow just now, he did not gain the upper hand or lose. As expected of a high disciple of the Qingyan sect, he indeed has 2 skills. Xianming Divine Palm. At this time, Qingshan mobilized all his spiritual power. Now that he has been exposed, he must fight quickly, otherwise he will die when support comes. 7 killing fists, kill. At this time, Yi Lin still went his own way and punched forward. The next moment, Yi Lin flew out, his body fell far away, and a drop of blood was left at the corner of his mouth. At this time, Yi Lin looked at the black-robed man in front of him calmly. How, when? At this time, Qingshan's expression changed drastically. He looked at the ice soul needle in the center of his palm with a look of shock on his face. The next moment, Qingshan fell to the ground, his body completely breathless, his eyes wide open. Times have changed. At this time, Yi Lin slowly came to Qingshan. These days, if you can do it without any effort, it will be effortless. Then Yilin squatted down and pulled out the ice soul needle from Qingshan's palm and put it into the space ring. This thing can be used twice. The ice soul needle is not easy to hit even during the golden core stage, let alone a small foundation building stage. Opening Qingshan's chest clothes, sure enough, there was a jade box inside. Putting the jade box into the space ring, Yilin raised his feet and walked towards Hucheng. When they arrived in the city, Shi Jian and Li Miaoling worked together to clean up the remaining evil cultivators, and even the 4 foundation-building evil cultivators were eliminated. Junior brother Yi, are you okay? At this time, Li Miaoling asked Yilin. It's okay. The evil cultivator just now was extremely cunning. When he saw something was wrong, he wanted to run away. I tried my best to capture him. Yilin shook his head and said, pretending to wipe the blood from the corner of his mouth, if you don't pretend, it really doesn't make sense. Thank you to the senior brothers and sisters of Qingyun sect for your help. I am a direct disciple of Tianjian sect, Su Yin. These two are my junior brother and junior sister, named Su Long and Xia Yu respectively. At this time, a man carried a long sword and cupped his fist towards Shi Jian. It's okay. We are all monks who have the responsibility to kill the evil cultivators. By the way, how did you get surrounded by the evil cultivators? At this time, Shi Jian said with confusion on his face, evil cultivators are shamed by everyone, so they usually act very low-key, and it is generally impossible to besiege a large sect's disciples so blatantly. Hearing this, Su Yin said with a bitter look on his face. We originally came to Tiger City to investigate the evil things, but we didn't expect to find the base of the evil cultivators. We also took the opportunity to rob something that seemed to be very important, so they led them to besiege us. That's it. At this time, Su Long walked out from behind and stretched out his palm. In the center of his palm were 3 magic beads. Seeing this, Yilin and Li Miaoling looked at each other. What? Did this senior brother recognize this thing? Seeing Yilin and Li Miaoling like this, Su Long said to Yilin. We do recognize it. This thing is made by the evil demon using evil magic. Eating it can extend life for 3 months. However, the method of refining it is to use the blood of 1,000 people. Hearing this, Su Long's hand holding the magic beads trembled slightly, his face changed drastically, and he was obviously shocked. When did Hua, who practiced in Tianjian sect all day, see such a scene? When did she hear such a cruel thing? This evil cultivator is so cruel, he really deserves to be killed. The woman standing behind Su Long, that is, Xia Yu, gritted her teeth and said. It seems that these are all the evil cultivators entrenched in Hucheng. Shi Jian looked at the corpses of the black-robed people around him and said softly. Since a month ago, we have killed only evil cultivators. We have not even seen the face of the evil demon. We have failed miserably. Why are so many human races willing to be the running dogs of the evil demon? They are willing to kill their compatriots. At this time, Li Miaoling beside Yilin said, her face obviously not looking good. It's just for life. The higher the cultivation level, the more cherished life, and even for life, they are willing to kill their compatriots. At this time, Yilin slowly said that this kind of thing is really normal. By the way, where is the evil demon base? At this time, Yilin asked Su Long. It's in an underground tunnel in the center of the city. After Su Long finished speaking, everyone suddenly realized that now that all the evil cultivators were dead, and the only one who escaped was also killed by Yilin, weren't all the secrets in the base. Chapter 62 Su Long's Conspiracy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I know where the evil cultivator's base is. Brothers, please come with me. At this time, Su Long, who was standing in front, said, and then ran forward immediately. Seeing this, everyone followed closely behind. After bypassing a few streets, everyone arrived at the center of the city. Due to the proliferation of evil cultivators in Tiger City and the fierce fighting just now, all the people were hiding in their homes. There was silence all around. The evil cultivator's base is among them. After saying that, Su Long came to a courtyard and opened the wooden board in the center of the courtyard. Under the wooden board, there was a dark hole. Everyone, follow me in to find out. At this time, Su Long said to everyone. Just when Li Miaoling wanted to go in, Yi Lin grabbed Li Miaoling's arm and then looked at Su Long. At this time, a panel appeared in front of you, name, Su Long Cultivation, early stage of foundation building, fate, white, numerology, none, destiny. The evil demon used a secret method to improve his cultivation, but he was in the late stage of foundation building. He was killed by Chu Shui, the 10th elder of Qingshan sect. 3 years later, recent opportunity, go to the Golden City in 3 days and find 3 middle-grade spiritual stones under the plane trees in the Golden City. Junior brother, what's wrong? Seeing her arm being held tightly by Yi Lin, Li Miaoling looked at Yi Lin with confusion on her face, her eyes full of confusion. What's wrong, junior brother Lin? At this time, Shi Jian also saw something wrong with Yi Lin's face and asked with concern. Aren't you going to show off your cards yet? Su Long. At this time, Yi Lin said to Su Long. Should I show my cards? What show of cards? The evil cultivator's base is right here. Hearing this, panic flashed across Su Long's face, but the next moment, he immediately calmed down. From the very beginning, I noticed something was wrong with you. You said you knew about the evil cultivator's base. However, the 3 of you are all disciples of the Tianjian sect. You must have come to Huqing as a group this time. When you said that you knew the evil cultivator's base, Xia Yu and Su Yin had blank expressions on their faces. Obviously, they didn't know about this, but how did you know? After Yi Lin finished speaking, Su Yin and Xia Yu suddenly realized that the matter was urgent just now and they had no time to think about it. Now that they think about it, it is really the case. The 3 of them entered the Tiger City at one time. Su Long was inseparable from the 2 of them. As soon as they entered the city, they discovered the evil cultivator's transaction during the search, and then they were discovered. In the end, they were besieged by the evil cultivators, but in the end, they had never been to the so-called evil cultivator's base, and they had no idea about it. And how did Su Long know this? Su Long, tell the truth. How did you know? Or have you already become a lackey of the evil cultivator? At this time, Su Yin's face was serious. He drew his sword and put it in front of Su Long's neck, questioning. I didn't expect that I underestimated you after all. At this time, Su Long looked at Yi Lin with some deep meaning. Yes, I have indeed become Lord Evil's servant. You have no idea how powerful Lord Evil is. In the end, you will all be desperate, ha ha ha. As for you, just wait to die. After saying that, Su Long's body was filled with black energy, and even Yi Lin couldn't help but frown due to the strong demonic energy, and Su Long's strength also increased from the early stage of foundation building to the middle stage of foundation building. Farewell. After saying that, Su Long turned into a streak of demonic energy and disappeared into the distance. The skill of wielding a sword is like a rainbow piercing the sun. At this time, Xia Yu gave a sweet shout, pointed her jade hand, flashed a sword light, and chased Su Long with a long sword. Junior sister, I don't want to kill you. At this time, Su Long's voice came from far away, and there was a loud noise. The flying sword that had just flown out suddenly broke. Xia Yu's face suddenly changed, and she clutched her chest and looked in extreme pain. That was her natal flying sword. If the flying sword was broken, she would not feel well. This bastard. Su Yin gritted his teeth and said that Su Long entered the Tianjian sect with him. Now that Su Long has become the demon's lackey, he feels uncomfortable at this time. You made me laugh, senior fellow apprentices. I will report this matter to the elders of the sect, and we will leave first. As for this evil cultivation base, it must be fake. It is probably a trap. Please be careful, senior fellow apprentices. Su Yin cupped his fists and saluted Yi Lin and the others. After taking a look at the cave entrance, he pulled Xia Yu Yujian and flew away. Junior brother, are we still going down here? At this time, Shi Jian looked at the cave entrance in front of him and looked at Yi Lin, after what happened just now, Shi Jian has gradually respected Yilin. Then Su Long wants to lure us down, so this trap must be activated by someone. I will take the lead later, you follow me. After Yilin finished speaking, he jumped down. Seeing this, Shi Jian followed Yilin and Li Miaoling walked at the rear, walking along a dark cave entrance. After a few laps, they came to a small underground cave. All around, there were various corpses, with broken limbs and arms, which looked extremely terrifying. It would not be a pity for these bastards to die 1,000 times. Seeing this situation, how could Shi Jian not know what was going on? This was obviously the place where the magic beads were refined. Yilin searched around and found nothing suspicious. This is not the evil base at all, it is just a place to refine the magic beads. After reading it, Li Miaoling came to a conclusion. Let's go. After searching in vain, Yilin said slightly. Okay, let's go. After the three of them came out, Yilin mobilized all his spiritual power and punched the cave entrance several times. The entire passage collapsed and the ground shook slightly. Let them sleep forever. To be honest, Yilin was not in a very good mood at this time. The evil demon was so cruel that he must be killed. In this case, our mission is completed, let's go back to the sect. At this time, Shi Jian cut off all the marks on the shoulders of the evil cultivators around him and returned to the sect to receive the reward. As long as the evil cultivator has been baptized by the devil's energy, a black mark will appear on his shoulder, which is where the devil's energy is. The devil's energy in the body of the evil demon is not compatible with humans, and it will turn into a mark on the shoulder. Junior brother, junior sister, I will go to receive the reward first, and then we will share it equally. After Shi Jian finished speaking, Yilin and Li Miaoling nodded one after another. After arriving at Dufeng, Yilin sat cross-legged in his residence, putting the spirit gathering array in front of him. The spiritual energy around him began to gather towards Yilin. Su Long's panel and senior sister Li's panel both point directly to the Golden City. Could it be that the Golden City is the real base of evil cultivators? As a base of evil cultivators, it must be occupied by evil cultivators. Moreover, the person on Su Long's panel will be wiped out by Master in 3 years, which means that my previous guesses are all correct. 3 years later, the Tianjian sect attacked the Qingyan sect, which was the war started by the evil demons. After sorting everything out, Yilin took out the middle-grade spirit stone and began to practice. Now the only way is to quickly improve one's own strength. Only when the strength is improved, all difficulties will be solved. The time of practice is always extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, a night passes in a flash. Chapter 63, Meet Lin Zisheng again. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It's time to take Su Long's chance today, Golden City, be careful this time. Yilin weighed the hidden god pearl in his hand and muttered to himself, as long as the hidden god pearl is there, as long as it is not a Jindan stage evil demon, you can go, let it go. Yilin got up and walked out of the sect. Along the way, there were all kinds of mortals carrying luggage to escape from the famine. They were all destroyed by the evil demons. Even the evil demons that were a headache for several major sects were devastating to these mortals. After an hour of rushing, Yilin arrived at Golden City. Golden City was a famous city and one of the 10 major cities occupied by the Zhao family. What caught his eye was a giant city gate that was 10 meters high. There were mysterious lines flowing on the city gate. Even a foundation building cultivator would not be able to open it with brute force. All around, there were soldiers in armor, holding spears in their hands, looking forward, and looking very majestic. The last time I came to the Golden City, I was blinded by chance. This time, I saw that the big city is indeed a big city. Just the surface work alone is not comparable to those small cities. When I stepped into the city, I saw people rushing around. Hey, brother, you are here again. What are you going to see this time? Or go to Yuan Bazai? By the way, you were cheated in Yuan Bazai last time, right? At this time, an old man with extremely wretched appearance and thin stature came to Yilin and winked. Yilin turned his head and saw this person. When he saw this person, he was speechless. This guy was Wang Laolu who led him to the Golden City last time. Do you know where the sycamore tree is in the Golden City? Hearing this, Wang Laolu was stunned, his eyes rolled straight, as if thinking about something. There is a sycamore tree, I wonder if it is the one you said. At this time, Wang Laolu touched his standard mustache and said slowly. Tell me the location, and you will get the benefit. At this time, Yi Lin took out a low-grade spirit stone and threw it to Wang Laolu. The moment Wang Laolu saw the low-grade spirit stone, his eyes turned red, and he immediately grabbed the spirit stone and put it in his palm and looked at it. Go ahead. Walk straight for 1,000 meters from here, turn left and walk straight for 3,000 meters, and you will naturally see a phoenix tree. There is only one phoenix tree in the Golden City, so it must be the one you should find. Wang Laolu looked at the spirit stone in his hand and said casually. Okay, if you don't find it, I won't forgive you. Yi Lin scared him for a moment, and then walked to the location Wang Laolu said. After walking there, as expected, a tall phoenix tree was planted in the distance. When he came to the phoenix tree, Yi Lin squatted down slightly, and as expected, he found a tree hole at the bottom of the tree, and 3 medium-grade spirit stones were placed in the tree hole. Now I have 5 middle-grade spirit stones. If I absorb them all, I have a great hope of entering the middle stage of foundation building. By the way, there is also the opportunity of senior sisterly in half a month, the foundation building demon pill on the evil cultivator. However, if there is an evil cultivator base in this Golden City, the power must be very large. What a rampant evil cultivator! Yi Lin thought in his heart while holding the 3 spirit stones. It is conceivable how huge the evil cultivator's power must be to be able to establish a base in the city under the jurisdiction of the Zhao family. Forget it, let's return to the sect first, refine these spirit stones first, and strive to enter the middle stage of foundation building as soon as possible. After saying that, Yi Lin walked out of the Golden City and walked towards Qingshan sect. When he arrived at Qingshan sect, Yi Lin found Lin Zisheng standing at the door of the inner gate mission pavilion of the sect, thinking about something. At this time, a panel appeared in front of Yi Lin, and he wanted to see how Lin Zisheng was now. Name, Lin Zisheng, Cultivation, middle stage of foundation building, fate, purple, incomplete. Numerology, good luck, king of swords, comprehension of gods. Son of heaven, reincarnation of the powerful, destiny, stopped at the peak of the combined way, and was struck to death by thunder when he wanted to break through the tribulation period, and his soul dissipated. Recent opportunity 1, tomorrow, I will go to Lanyan Cave in the 10,000 miles mountain with Huang Ruyan to kill the middle stage of foundation building spider. In Lanyan Cave, I found the Xian level middle grade elixir, broken mirror pill, and after swallowing it, I violently stepped into the late stage of foundation building. Recent opportunity 2, 10 days later, on the way to the killing sect, I picked up 3 middle grade spirit stones at the gate of the killing sect. Recent opportunity 3, 1 month later, I got the Xian level middle grade long sword in Longxian Cave, and my combat power has greatly increased since then. Good luck, you have good luck. You can always pick up opportunities when walking on the road. Even if you encounter a life and death crisis, you can turn danger into safety. Kendo champion, a natural swordsman. You have a better understanding of Kendo than ordinary people and have made rapid progress in Kendo. Comprehension, superb comprehension. You are very fast in understanding various techniques. For the same technique, others need 3 months, but you only need a few days. Son of heaven, you are favored by the destiny of heaven. There is no bottleneck in your cultivation. Breaking through is as easy as eating and drinking. Reincarnation of the great power, you are the reincarnation of the great power in the immortal world, but your soul was damaged and your memory was sealed. After the nascent soul stage, your memory was unsealed. From then on, it was like a carp leaping over the dragon gate, and everything went smoothly. Looking at Lin Zisheng's panel, Yi Lin touched his chin. He is in the middle stage of foundation building. That's right. If it had developed normally, Lin Zisheng would have broken through the middle stage of foundation building 2 months ago. Because he had been plundering opportunities, Lin Zisheng's cultivation had always remained in the early stage of foundation building. Longxian Cave. Seeing the third opportunity panel, Yi Lin frowned. What is Longxian Cave? Why don't I have any impression of it? At this time, Lin Zisheng seemed to notice Yi Lin, but he just looked at Yi Lin coldly and left in a hurry. After Lin Zisheng left, Yi Lin walked into the mission pavilion. Brother Yi. At this time, Sun Xiao looked at Yi Lin with a surprised face. Brother, why did Brother Lin come here just now? At this time, Yi Lin asked Sun Xiao in front of him. Brother Lin. Brother Lin has been taking tasks frequently recently. It seems that he is short of spiritual stones. Moreover, he brought a lot of evil cultivator marks to exchange for rewards yesterday. Hearing this, Yi Lin sneered in his heart. What's the use of Lin Zisheng's resources? This thing is known to him after a casual thought. This thing has been hoarding a lot of resources recently, just to go to the killing sect to ask assassins to assassinate him. The killing sect is a killer sect, and each killer has a clear price tag, which is ridiculously expensive. By the way, junior brother, do you know Longxian Cave? Longxian Cave. After hearing this, Sun Xiao was stunned, and then immediately reacted. Of course I know. 100 years ago, there was a huge sect in this area of 10,000 miles. There was a legendary Yuanying stage master sitting in it, suppressing the four directions, and no one disobeyed. At that time, the huge sect was extremely powerful for a while, but in the end, the force suddenly became extinct, and all the disciples died. A huge cave appeared in their sect, and the cave opened every 5 years. It is rumored that there are treasures left by the huge sect in the cave, but there is a barrier in Longxian Cave, and Jindan stage cultivators cannot enter. At that time, in order to compete for the ownership of Longxian Cave, the major sects fought bloody battles, and finally a great man discovered that it would not be good for anyone to keep fighting like this. After that, the major forces made treaties one after another. When Longxian Cave opened, the major forces could send their own disciples to enter it to search for treasures. But now it seems that the day when Longxian Cave opens is approaching. Chapter 64 Killing a Spider in the Middle Stage of Foundation Building. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After saying that, Sun Xiao touched his chin and thought, and then suddenly realized. By the way, senior brother Yi, every time you enter Longxian Cave, each sect can only send 3 disciples, and this time, you will definitely be among them. If I remember correctly, Longxian Cave seems to be next month or something. It's very close anyway. Thank you. Hearing this, Yi Lin nodded slightly. If there were only 3 people in each sect, it would be him, Li Miaoling and Lin Zisheng. Although Lin Zisheng's chances of being beaten by him were greatly reduced, but that's not something an ordinary disciple with a white destiny can afford. Now, the only one who can stabilize Lin Zisheng's fate is Li Miaoling, but this woman is usually very low-key. Okay, thank you, junior brother Sunday. In that case, I'm leaving. Brother, walk slowly. Looking at Yi Lin's back, Sun Xinshin sighed. They are all direct disciples, why is the gap so big? Lin Zisheng was in front of him just now and kept scorning him. He could only dare to be angry but dare not say anything. But look at how polite our senior brother Yi is. Hey, people. Lanyan Cave. Standing outside the sect, Yi Lin thought for a moment that the breaking realm pill was an extremely abnormal pill. Once swallowed, he could unconditionally break through a small realm. Of course, this kind of elixir is also extremely rare. The refining method is the most difficult to refine among other elixirs, and the medicinal materials required are even more precious. If I had this realm-breaking pill, I would be absolutely sure that I could break through the middle stage of foundation building within 10 days. By then, if I really want to enter the Dragon Mystic Cave, I would be invincible. Yi Lin squeezed his palms and then walked towards the 100,000 miles mountain. Lin Zisheng has now reached the middle stage of foundation building, and his foundation is unstable, so he does not dare to risk stepping into the Lanyan Cave alone. For him, the monsters in the middle stage of foundation building are completely killable. In order to kill me, Lin Zisheng lost his mind. As he walked, Yi Lin thought in his mind that Lin Zisheng's foundation was now unstable, and the panel showed that when Lin Zisheng got the realm-breaking pill, he immediately swallowed it and violently broke through the pill. The consequence of this kind of operation is that the foundation is extremely unstable, and there are also hidden dangers that threaten the spiritual roots. Once the realm falls and the spiritual roots are broken, there is no place to cry. There is no shortcut to cultivation. This must be Lanyan Cave. Looking at the huge dark hole in front of him, Yi Lin murmured, then squatted down and looked at the ground, which was wet. It just so happens that with the realm-breaking pill plus the mid-grade spirit stone, and a mid-stage foundation-building demon pill, by then, even if my realm breaks through, it will be extremely stable. At this time, Yi Lin's eyes were full of killing intent, and he took out the long sword from the space ring, and the long sword was flying around. He also knows how to control a sword, but he can't use it in public. The art of sword control is divided into 4 levels: the first level, sword; second level, sword control; the third floor, Xuanguang; the fourth level, 10,000 swords returned to the clan. The first 2 floors are extremely easy to enter, and Yi Lin has just stepped into the point where the rainbow shines through the sun. Xuanguang is a move. Once used, the long sword can explode 5 times its own speed. The higher the speed, the stronger the power. After giving up, Yi Lin rushed into Lanyan Cave, and the long sword flew around Yi Lin. By the time he reached the foundation building stage, he could already control the flying sword easily, not necessarily smoothly. The Lanyan Cave is very shallow, but the surroundings of the cave are extremely humid. Along the way, the ground is muddy, and drops of liquid fall from time to time above the head. Hiss. At this time, Yi Lin suddenly stopped and slowly turned his head to look. At some point, a huge black spider crawled on top of his head behind him, with 8 red eyes staring at him. Hiss. The next moment, the black spider opened its extremely terrifying mouth, and a white spider silk flew towards Yi Lin. The devil disappears without a trace. Yi Lin thought silently in his mind and dodged. The seemingly soft spider thread penetrated directly into the ground, and countless cracks spread in all directions. The rainbow penetrates the sun. At this time, Yi Lin shouted coldly, and slashed at the giant spider with 2 fingers of his right hand. Suddenly, a sword sound resounded throughout the cave, and the sharp sword light directly cut off one of the spider's legs. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The spider roared in pain, and the next moment, Yi Lin covered his head in pain. The spider's howl contained some kind of mental shock, which made him extremely uncomfortable. Stop barking, tiger roaring in the forest. Suddenly, Yi Lin was surrounded by bursts of tiger roars. After devouring the blood soul fruit, his soul was stronger than the ordinary foundation building stage and could barely resist. Suddenly, a fiery red flame wrapped around Yi Lin's arm. After seeing the fiery red flames, the giant spider took a few steps back. Obviously, it was afraid of fire, and this small move happened to be noticed by Yi Lin. So you're afraid of fire? That'll be easy. After saying that, Yi Lin rushed towards the spider, his body burning with phoenix fire, and punched its head. At this time, a white wall composed of several threads appeared in front of the spider. Yi Lin punched it and his whole arm suddenly trembled. What a strong defense. Come again, roaring tigers in the mountains and forests. Accompanied by a fierce tiger roar, he punched with his right hand, and the spider's silk barrier just now was also destroyed by Yi Lin's punch. At this moment, the giant spider began to slip towards the entrance of the cave. The rainbow penetrates the sun. Yi Lin pointed with his left hand, and a sword light flew towards the spider. 7 killing fists, kill. Boom. In 2 flanking attacks, Yi Lin was wrapped with phoenix fire, punched the spider in the head, and the long sword directly penetrated the spider's body. 3 swords of life and death, kill. Yi Lin grabbed the long sword, and the whole long sword was wrapped in fiery red flames. Seeing this, the spider, which had been seriously injured, wanted to escape. During the entire process, it was directly suppressed by Yi Lin's phoenix fire, and had no power to resist at all. If it had been at the early stage of foundation building, it would have been instantly killed by it. Still want to run? It's too late. Seeing the spider's movements, Yi Lin sneered. A sword of yin and yang. Yi Lin's body speed increased sharply, and before the spider could react, he inserted a sword into the spider's mind. At this time, the shadow of a black long sword did not enter the back of the spider's head. Hiss. At this time, a violent scream suddenly came out. Suddenly, Yi Lin's head was dizzy and hallucinations appeared in front of his eyes. Psychic attacks are so difficult to deal with. Yi Lin gritted his teeth, and streams of phoenix fire were output from his body, directly entering the spider's mind. Just a few seconds passed, and the spider that was roaring just now fell to the ground with no breath at all. No, my soul is really weak now. Just a mental attack from a monster in the middle stage of foundation building makes me extremely uncomfortable. If it's in the late stage of foundation building, wouldn't I not even have the chance to fight back? Looking at the spider corpse in front of him, Yi Lin pondered in his heart, mental attacks are the most difficult to deal with, and you can't run away. The way to resist mental attacks is, first, the soul is very powerful, so powerful that no mental attack can interfere with you. The second is to have the corresponding secret method to resist mental attacks, but which secret method can withstand mental attacks is not worth 1,000 pieces of gold. Even the Qingshan sect does not have one. Now that I have the blood soul fruit, even with the blessing of acquired breath soil, time is very slow to achieve results. It seems that I can only pay more attention to the mysterious magic in the future. Chapter 65 Long Family. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A sword cut open the spider's mind, and holding the demon pill in his hand, Yi Lin pondered for a while, then he walked to the depths of Lanyan Cave and came to the depths of Lanyan Cave. In the deep cave, there was a small wooden box sandwiched in a gap on the wall. Yi Lin pulled out the small wooden box and took it in his hand, slowly opening it. Suddenly, a burst of red fragrance rushed into his mouth and nose, and even the realm was faintly loosened. Sure enough, it's a middle-grade Xian-level realm-breaking pill. Seeing this, Yi Lin received the elixir into the space ring. Now he already has the realm-breaking elixir and the mid-stage foundation-building demon elixir. With the help of mid-grade spiritual stones, he is enough to break through to the mid-stage foundation-building stage. The stronger he becomes, the more at ease he feels. After getting what he wanted, Yi Lin came to Qingshan sect without stopping. He began to plan to practice in seclusion and achieve a breakthrough in one fell swoop. At this time, a figure came towards me. Junior brother Yi, where have you been? Senior brother Shi Jian is looking for you everywhere. At this time, Li Miaoling looked at Yi Lin and said. Senior brother Shi Jian. What does he want from me? Yi Lin's face was full of doubts. He and Shi Jian had nothing to do with each other. Look at your brain, have you forgotten about the rewards for evil cultivators? Here, this is your share, 100 low-grade spiritual stones. At this time, Li Miaoling threw a cloth bag to Yi Lin, and Yi Lin grabbed it. 100 low-grade spiritual stones. Yi Lin was a little surprised. The number of evil cultivators they killed was either too many or too few. If they were divided equally between the three of them, they would have received a total of 300 low-grade spiritual stones at that time. That's right, I didn't expect that the reward for the evil cultivator would be so large. But the sect asked me to prepare to go to Tianjian sect to collect resources in the past few days. I believe you will go too. Collecting resources. Senior sister, can you explain? Hearing this, Li Miaoling patted her head in embarrassment. I forgot that junior brother was promoted to direct successor not long ago, so I will explain it to junior brother. Today, the 3 major sects and the 4 major families are all headed by our Qingshan sect. Therefore, they must hand over 1/10 of their income to our Qingshan sect every year. So, now is the time to collect resources once a year. In the past, all major disciples went there, so this time, you must be there too. Senior sister, I am going to Tianjian sect. I don't know where you will be allocated, junior brother. However, senior sister reminds you, don't be assigned to the 4 major families. They are selfish and greedy. In the past, it took a long time. After Li Miaoling finished speaking, Yi Lin finally understood that it turned out that Qingshan sect, as the apparent overlord, had to collect corresponding resources from the major surrounding forces every year, which could be regarded as protection fees. The 3 major sects and the 4 major aristocratic families are all sent by personal disciples, If the small forces are small, they will send inner disciples. That's it. When senior sister said this, I became much clearer. Yilin nodded, seeming to be thinking about something in his heart. Senior sister, be careful on this trip. Su Long, a direct disciple of the Tianjian sect, has fallen into the embrace of evil spirits. The current Tianjian sect may not be peaceful. At this time, Yilin said slightly to Li Miaoling, the top leaders of the major sects have been bewitched by evil spirits. Except for the Qingyun sect, which has been confirmed, the other forces are all within his speculation, but it is always good to be careful. Do you care about me? At this time, Li Miaoling suddenly approached Yilin, stared into Yilin's eyes and said. Senior sister, as a fellow disciple, this is what you should do. Yilin remained motionless and spoke solemnly. TCH, senior sister knew it without teasing. After speaking, Li Miaoling walked forward with her hands behind her back. At this time, a panel appeared in front of Yilin, name, Li Miaoling, cultivation level, middle stage of foundation building, fate, purple, numerology, covered by luck, pure body, leader of swordsmanship, fate, stopped at the peak of Yuanying, and was eventually assassinated to death by Yuanying monks from the other three major human races, recent opportunity 1, 4 days later. On behalf of the Qingyun sect, I went to the Tianjian sect to collect resources. In the Tianjian sect, I saw a piece of jade bamboo. After seeing the jade bamboo, I immediately had an epiphany. 3 days later, the way of swordsmanship entered the realm of great achievement, recent opportunity 2, 18 days later, I went to the Golden City at the foot of the mountain to slay demons, and found the foundation building demon elixir from an evil cultivator. After swallowing and refining it, my cultivation in the middle stage foundation building period was greatly stabilized. 3 recent opportunities, 18 days later, I went to the Golden City to slay demons. In the evil cultivator base of the Golden City, I discovered a high-grade black gold treasure, luck written, you are the luckiest person and the darling of luck. Good luck can always help you avert danger when you encounter it, innocent body, it is naturally suitable for cultivation. There are no impurities in the body. There are no bottlenecks in cultivation. Kendo leader, you always have a better understanding of Kendo than ordinary people, and you can always make rapid progress in Kendo. Looking at Li Miaoling's opportunity, Yilin touched his chin. He knew that black gold could be incorporated into a weapon to greatly increase its hardness. Xian level and Huang level weapons compete for hardness. The harder they are, the stronger the weapons. The fate is still the same. In other words, there is no danger on this trip. Yilin touched his chin. Li Miaoling's 2 opportunities pointed directly at the Golden City. In other words, this Golden City had a big secret. Arriving at the top of Dufeng Peak, Chu Shui was already waiting at the top. Master. Yilin cupped his fists and saluted Chu Shui. Only then did Chu Shui turn around. In 3 days, you go down the mountain to the Long family in the heavily armored city to collect resources. Hearing this, Yilin was stunned. Just now, his junior sister told him that he could not die in a family, but now his master actually sent him to that family. Master, can you send me to the Holy King's sect? At this time, Yilin tentatively said that the aristocratic family is extremely difficult to deal with. He is a person who is very afraid of trouble. If he can solve it quickly, he will solve it quickly. Now you are the strongest among the 6 descendants, and the Long family has been restless in recent years, and the resources they have given us are getting less and less. The purpose of sending you this time is to beat them up. Don't worry, if they make things difficult for you, they will only send the younger generation to make things difficult for you. As for the older generation, they don't have the guts to break up with the Qingyun sect. After you go, be as strong as you want. It's best to use all your strength to suppress their spirit. After saying that, Chu Shui burst out with an extremely powerful aura. Under this aura, it became extremely difficult for Yilin to breathe. This time, he experienced the difference between the Golden Core stage and the Foundation Establishment stage. If the Chu Shui in front of him wants to kill him, he only needs to wave his hand gently, and he will have no power to resist. In that case, I will go to the Long family for a visit. At this time, Yi Lin nodded slowly and said. Seeing this, Chu Shui nodded with satisfaction. I have always judged people very accurately. As the #1 member of the younger generation of our Qingshan sect, and also my disciple of Chu Shui, no matter what your usual style is. I hope you will appear stronger in front of other sects, and don't let other sects think that our Qingshan sect is weak. Hearing this, Yi Lin looked helpless. He had been developing in a low-key manner. He also wanted to make a fortune in a low-key manner and be more ostentatious. It was not his character. Seeing as your aura has reached its peak, you must be breaking through to the middle stage of foundation building. Take these 3 meditation pills to avoid any mistakes in your breakthrough. Chapter 66 Breakthrough, Mid-Stage Foundation Building. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Thank you, Master. Yi Lin raised his hand and took the 3 Jingxin pills. The function of the Jingxin pill is to calm down the mind. When making a breakthrough, you should not think wildly to avoid going crazy. 3 days are enough to break through the middle stage of foundation building. In this way, the trip to the Long family must be perfect. Remember, when you go to the Long family, you must pretend to be superior to others. Crush them completely. Only in this way can they recognize who is the real overlord in this thousands of miles around. After Chu Shui finished speaking, Yi Lin felt no emotion at all. He had been brainwashed so many times in his previous life that he was automatically immune to this kind of emotional push. Okay, Master, I understand. At this time, Yi Lin nodded and said slightly, you can't blame Chu Shui for being like this. Now, as far as he knows, the 3 major sects and the 4 major aristocratic families have gradually begun to want to establish themselves as kings, and they no longer care about the apparent overlord of Qingshan sect, so Chu Shui wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to suppress the other forces. It was very likely that she was building momentum for the upcoming Longxian cave. Okay, it's good to know. That's it, then go ahead and break through. Yes, Master. After bowing to Chu Shui, Yi Lin turned around and walked towards his residence. When he arrived at his residence, Yi Lin directly activated the spirit gathering array, and immediately, an extremely rich spiritual energy began to flow into his body. First swallow the demon pill to completely complete the initial stage of foundation building, and at the same time raise your state to the peak, and then use the realm-breaking pill and the calming pill. In this way, there is nothing wrong. After saying that, Yi Lin took out the mid-stage foundation building demon pill and swallowed it in one gulp. Suddenly, an extremely violent spiritual power began to rush through his body, but Yi Lin is no longer the same Yi Lin who once practiced Qi. After running the star Kung Fu, the violent spiritual power suddenly became like a well-behaved baby, flowing through his veins. All the debris in the veins were crushed by this huge spiritual power, and at the same time, every shin bone in Yi Lin was strengthened. It's now. At this time, Yi Lin snorted coldly, and then swallowed the breaking realm pill and the 3 Jingxin pills in one gulp. At this time, a loud noise came from the Taoist platform. The Taoist platform, which was originally as big as the mouth of a bull, was now getting bigger. If the Taoist platform in the early stage of foundation building is as big as the mouth of a bull, then the Taoist platform in the middle stage of foundation building is as big as a bucket. The level of spiritual liquid contained in it is not of the same level at all. As the Taoist platform slowly expanded, the spiritual fluid that could originally be fully loaded began to gradually become scarce. And a large part of it was absorbed by the Taoist platform. Seeing this, Yi Lin seemed to be prepared and took out 5 medium-grade spiritual stones. And began to absorb it with all its strength. The Taoist platform that was nourished by spiritual power suddenly began to expand rapidly. In the blink of an eye, 2 days passed. Break. Yi Lin, who had been in seclusion for 2 days, suddenly opened his eyes and shouted softly. Immediately, he heard a vague sound coming from his body, and Yi Lin's whole body momentum increased. In the middle stage of foundation building, the Taoist platform has expanded, and the amount of spiritual liquid contained in it has also increased. Moreover, my body's strength have been enhanced. I have become more comfortable controlling the 5 elements. Moreover, if I use a few sets of martial arts now, with my current spiritual power reserves, I won't have to face the same dilemma of running out of spiritual power. At this time, Yi Lin murmured to himself, the last time when Li Miaoling and I killed the monsters in the middle stage of Foundation establishment, we ended up in an embarrassing situation where we ran out of spiritual energy because we used all of our ultimate moves. If there had been another monk in the early stage of Foundation building, he could have killed him, but now, it's no longer possible. Even if I'm at full strength, it's enough to let me spend as much as I want for a while. But, is this a 5th grade Taoist platform? It's really abnormal. The size of an ordinary monk's Taoist platform in the middle stage of Foundation building is no more than the size of a bucket. And mine is the size of a water tank. At this time, Yi Lin showed a smile on his face. The size of his Taoist platform and the amount of spiritual fluid it carries are 10 times that of an ordinary mid-stage Foundation building monk. In other words, he lasts longer than other ordinary Foundation building monks. 2 days have passed now. The day after tomorrow is the day to go to the Long family. Master asked me to be high profile, so I will be high profile. Is it enough for the early stage of Foundation building? By the way, let's take this time to see if we can break through the tiger roaring forest to the 2nd level. He was confident that he would be number 1 among the younger generation of the Qingshan sect, but could the quality of the Long family disciples be as good as that of the Qingshan sect? After saying that, Yi Lin stood up and walked towards the back of Dufeng Peak. There was a special martial arts training ground there. There was not one before, but now there is. It seemed that Chu Shui built it specially for himself. This made his heart warm. It was so good to have a caring master. Tiger roaring mountain forest. When I came to the martial arts training ground, there were all kinds of wooden stakes everywhere. These wooden stakes were made of special wood and could not be damaged even by a full blow in the early stage of Foundation building. Boom. Just hearing the sound of roaring tigers coming from the martial arts training ground, a wooden stake in front broke directly and flew into the distance. Not enough. In this way, Yi Lin worked tirelessly all day and night. Tiger roaring mountain forest. In the distance, a phantom of a tiger suddenly appeared. Just by looking at it, you could feel an oncoming pressure. The next moment, the 5 straight wooden stakes in front of Yi Lin suddenly shattered into pieces. That's right, it was broken into pieces. Even the wooden stakes that couldn't be destroyed in the early stage of Foundation building were smashed into pieces by Yi Lin. The 2nd level of Tiger Roaring Forest, success. Now, once I use Tiger Roaring Forest, I can burst out 5 times my own strength. Who can stop me? Yi Lin restrained his aura and smiled. Obviously, he was very satisfied with his own strength. By the way, I haven't seen the fate for a long time. I don't know how it is. I don't know if Lin Zisheng's killer has been hired. Name, Yi Lin, Cultivation, mid-stage of Foundation building, fate, black, many disasters. Numerology, bad luck, insight, fate. The seriously injured Lin Zisheng was healed by Elder Song with a large amount of elixirs. Lin Zisheng knew in his heart that he was no match for you now, but his brother's fall and his loss of face were all related to you. He couldn't swallow this breath in his heart, so he went to kill the sect hired a killer to assassinate you. 15 days later, you met a killer in the middle stage of Foundation building in the wild, and then you punched the killer to death. When Lin Zisheng knew about it, he was shocked, so he asked Song Chongqing for advice. The two conspired. 1 month later, in Longxian Cave, Lin Zisheng summoned 2 friends from Tianjian sect and Xuanguang sect to surround and kill you. You fought 1 against 3, but you were defeated. Then Lin Zisheng used a hidden weapon to seriously injure you. You fled desperately, and finally fell into a state of decline, and the Tao platform was broken. You could not improve half a step in this life, and you have been hidden in the dust since then. Recent opportunities, none. Bad luck, such as falling down when walking, and being cheated on when getting married. Comprehension, superb comprehension, extremely fast in understanding various exercises. For the same exercise, others need 3 months, but you only need a few days. Looking at his own fate, Yi Lin touched his chin. With his current strength, the killer in the middle stage of foundation building is not a concern at all. 3 people's siege. Interesting, 3 mid-stage foundation building cultivators. But the most important thing is that Lin Zisheng's hidden weapon can actually seriously injure me, and even break my Taoist platform. It's not an ordinary thing, but, hidden weapons. It's not like I don't have any. At this time, Yi Lin showed a mysterious smile on his face. Chapter 67 Dragon Saint. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Today is the day to collect resources. I don't know how strong the younger generation of the Long family is. At this time, Yi Lin walked out of the martial arts training ground and came to Dufan. Standing on this single peak, you can have a panoramic view of the entire Qingshan sect. Gone. Yi Lin murmured in a low voice, and then a long sword was placed across the sole of his feet. Yi Lin stepped on the flying sword and flew towards the distance. In the center of the heavily armored city, there were several figures standing in a magnificent hall. The atmosphere in the entire hall was extremely solemn. This is where the Long family is located. Do you know who is the direct descendant of Qingshan sect who came to collect resources this time? At this time, a middle-aged man above the main hall asked the elders below. He is the head of the Long family, Long Xian. It is said that he is a new direct disciple. At this time, an elder under him said slightly. New direct successor. Qingshan sect is paying less and less attention to us. In the past, the elders came in person, and later they came in person. Now, even cats and dogs dare to come. At this time, the middle-aged man in the main hall was filled with anger when he heard this. Master, isn't this a good thing for us? 3 days ago, my son has broken through the middle stage of foundation building. At this time, the great elder below said with a smile. Oh. Is this serious? Hearing this, Long Xian said with surprise on his face. Of course, when the time comes, when the direct disciple of the Qingshan sect comes, I can let my son go and fight against him. If my son wins, he will have to go back to the Qingshan sect in despair. The great elder stroked his beard and said with a smile on his face, and the others breathed a sigh of relief. As for losing, they didn't even think about it. You know, the son of the great elder, Long Sheng, is the number 1 among the younger generation of their Long family, and can be called a legend. At the age of 18, he awakened the middle-grade spiritual root. At the age of 19, he entered the 9th level of Qi training. At the age of 20, he entered the early stage of foundation building. Now, at 21, he has entered the middle stage of foundation building, and he once defeated the monsters in the middle stage of foundation building with his strength in the early stage of foundation building, and finally retreated completely. In just 3 years, he achieved what most monks achieve in a lifetime. When my son broke through the early stage of foundation building, he cast a 2nd-grade Taoist platform. But the Qingshan sect probably doesn't have a 2nd-grade Taoist platform, right? After hearing the great elder's words, Long Xian laughed. No, the great elder's son will definitely have great achievements in the future. How can a small direct disciple of Qingshan sect be the opponent of Dragon Saint? When the time comes, we must let that kid go back in despair. This is the heavily armored city. It's really spectacular. Yi Lin, who was floating in mid-air with his flying sword, looked at the city wall made entirely of steel in front of him. With a look of surprise on his face. The city wall is entirely made of steel, and countless resources have been spent on it. It seems that the Long family is extremely rich. Then Yi Lin drove the flying sword and flew straight into the city. Master said that he should be high profile. If this is the case, then he should pretend to be more high profile. Yi Lin, a direct disciple of Qingshan sect, came to the Long family specially to collect resources. After lowering the flying sword, Yi Lin put his hands behind his hands and looked at the magnificent door in front of him, and said softly. Crunch. At this time, the door was slowly opened, and a hunchbacked old man looked at Yi Lin with his turbid eyes. Is the person coming here the senior disciple of the Qingshan sect? Exactly. Realizing that the old man in front of him was just a mortal, Yi Lin frowned and said, he came in person. and the person who greeted him was just a mortal. It seemed that the Long family was quite courageous. For other forces, the status of the direct disciples of the Qingshan sect is the same as that of the elders. When a direct disciple arrives, at least he must be received by someone who is also an elder. Unexpectedly, the Long family only sent one mortal to receive him. The master of the house has already given instructions, please come with me. After the old man finished speaking, he walked in front, while Yi Lin followed behind the old man. After going around in circles, the two of them came to a large hall. Inside the main hall, they saw a middle-aged man who was not angry and proud, sitting on top of the hall. I've met Master Long. Yi Lin cupped his fists towards the middle-aged man and said, no matter what, he is still the leader of a large force, and Yi Lin still gives him the respect he deserves. You're welcome, Master Nephew Yi. I must be very tired from the long journey. Please sit down. There's no need to sit down. I believe that Master Long knows the purpose of my trip. I have important matters for this junior, so please don't waste time, Master Long. After Yi Lin finished speaking, a trace of anger flashed across the eyes of Long Xian, who was in a high position, and was immediately suppressed. Master Nephew Yi, don't be in a hurry. Long Xian waved his hand indifferently. Master, I heard from my father that a disciple from the Qingshan sect will come to my Long family today. Where are they? Where are they? At this time, a young man with a formidable aura and carrying a silver spear hurriedly came to the main hall and looked at Long Xiandao above the main hall. At this time, the young man turned around when he noticed Yi Lin beside him. Are you the direct disciple of the Qingshan sect? It's me. Hearing this, Yi Lin nodded. Hello, my name is Long Sheng. I am the son of the great elder of the Long family. I have long heard that all the disciples of the Qingshan sect are like dragons. I was very excited for a while, but I never expected that the fate would be like this. I wonder if this direct descendant dares to fight with me. Looking at the extremely arrogant young man in front of him, Yi Lin turned his attention to Long Xian on the high seat. Unexpectedly, at this time, Long Xian was holding a broken teacup and looking at it. Seeing this, Yi Lin sneered in his heart, this is a very calculating move. Just now, he sensed that the dragon saint in front of him was in the middle stage of foundation building. If it were any other direct disciple of Qingshan sect, he would probably be defeated, except for Li Miaoling and Lin Zisheng. The rest of the disciples were in the early stage of foundation building. Once they lost, how could they still have the face to ask for resources? If the direct disciple of the dominant sect was defeated by the disciple of the subordinate sect, the reputation of Qingshan sect would suffer a major blow if it was told to others, not to mention any resources. Even if the Long family did not give them, Qingshan sect could not take action against the Long family, because in the eyes of the outside world, the disciples of Qingshan sect lost, and the elders took action, and Qingshan sect could not afford to lose. This is a dead end, and the key to breaking the deadlock is to defeat Dragon Saint. At this time, Yi Lin looked at Dragon Saint. Name, Dragon Saint. Cultivation, middle stage of foundation building. Fate, blue. Numerology, the leader of the spear path. Fate, stopped at the early stage of Yuanying, and was killed by the monster in the secret realm during an exploration of the secret realm. Recent opportunities, go to Golden City in 4 days and find a yellow-grade top-grade spiritual martial arts, Xuanguang Tower, in the department store of Golden City. After practicing, you can resist the spiritual attacks of late-stage foundation building cultivators. Spear Dao leader, in the way of spear, you have amazing talent and can always make rapid progress. Looking at the opportunity of Longxing in front of him, Yi Lin was secretly happy. Unexpectedly, I didn't expect that the spiritual martial arts that I had been thinking about would be found by myself. I accept your challenge. At this time, Yi Lin's face was as calm as water, and then he said, as long as you defeat Longxing in front of you, the task assigned to you by the master will be successfully completed. Since the Long family is so confident in this Longxing, then I will use my strength to shatter your confidence. Ha ha ha, okay, if that's the case, then go to the backyard martial arts field. At this time, Long Xian put down the teacup in his hand and stood up. You have courage, I hope you can make me feel a little pressure. Chapter 68 Crushing the Dragon Saint. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Have you heard? A direct disciple of the Qingshan sect is going to compete with Mr. Longsheng. I've heard about it a long time ago. Come and have a look. They say that all Qingshan sect disciples are like dragons. It's just a good time to see his true strength. So what if everyone is like a dragon? Mr. Longsheng is not a vegetarian. It is said that Mr. Longsheng has broken through to the middle stage of Foundation establishment. This so-called direct inheritance of Qingshan sect is only in the early stage of Foundation establishment. Don't worry about whether these are available or not. Just go over and take a look and you'll find out. The news that Longsheng was going to compete with the direct disciples of the Qingshan sect had quickly spread throughout the Long family, and countless disciples went to the competition ground to watch the battle. At this time, in the center of the competition arena, on a huge arena, Yilin and Longsheng were looking at each other, while a large number of Long family disciples were watching the battle below. In the distant sky, Longxian stood on the flying sword and looked at the entire arena. Seeing as you are in the middle stage of foundation building, I won't bully you. I will suppress your cultivation to the early stage of foundation building and fight you. Looking at Yilin exuding the cultivation level of the early stage of foundation building, Longsheng's face was filled with contempt. Is this the Qingshan sect's personal inheritance? The cultivation level of the early stage of foundation building is still worthy of being called a personal inheritance. Looking at such arrogant dragon saint, Yilin shook his head slightly. No, you can just come. I'm worried that after you suppress your cultivation, you won't even be able to take one of my moves. At this time, Yilin finished speaking to Longsheng, and the whole audience suddenly exploded. Damn it, this Qingshan sect's cultivation is not good enough, and he speaks loudly. Master Longsheng gave him face, but he doesn't want it. Master Longsheng, destroy him. Really? At this time, Longsheng was also angry. Feel free to come. Okay, my spear has no eyes, so be careful. After Dragon Saint finished speaking, he waved his spear with both hands. He was filled with anger now and needed to vent it as much as possible. The first style of Luyun spear technique, thunder breaks through Qianjun. Hearing Dragon Saint's roar, a terrifying thunder coiled around the spear in his hand. Looking from a distance, one could sense the terrifying power contained in the thunder. Be careful. After Longsheng finished speaking, he stabbed Yilin in front of the door with a spear. Bursts of thunder were released, and there were waves of terror. Even if the monks who were in the middle stage of foundation building came here, they would not dare to take the Dragon Saint's move forcefully. It was really extremely violent. 7 killing fists, kill. Yilin shouted low, a blood-red mist wrapped around his right hand, and punched towards the tip of the Dragon Saint's spear. Court death. Seeing this, Longsheng sneered and used his fist to catch the tip of his spear. Isn't this looking for death? Boom! Hearing a loud noise, Yilin took a step back to remove all the strength from his body, while Longsheng took 2 steps back and stuck the tip of his spear on the ring behind him to remove all the strength. At the same time, looking at his trembling arms, he was shocked inside. Yilin did not use any weapons, but just relied on his own strength. How could he be so embarrassed? How is it possible? He was actually able to take a shot from Mr. Longsheng head-on and remain unscathed. According to my analysis, this person must have suffered very serious internal injuries, but he did not show it. And after just one move, this person actually still had the upper hand. How could this person be so powerful? Looking at Yilin in the distance, Longsheng had already decided to give up. With his initial cultivation level of foundation building, he took a shot from himself and even hit his arm to numbness. What on earth was it? But the next moment, he shook his head suddenly. No, I haven't taken it seriously yet. I'm already afraid. This is not me. Seeing the Dragon Saint in the distance, Yilin mobilized all his spiritual power and looked at the Dragon Saint. From now on, I'll finish you off with 2 punches. After Yilin finished speaking, a tiger's shadow wrapped around his body. Tiger roaring mountain forest. Suddenly, a huge tiger roar echoed through the entire martial arts arena, and the disciples below covered their ears in pain. Arrogance, the second style of Luyun spear, wave spear. At this time, Longsheng snorted coldly, raised his spear and stabbed Yilin. The sound of waves came from all around, and at the same time, a powerful force from the Taoist platform poured into the spear. Boom, the two collided, and the huge air wave caused all the disciples watching the battle to retreat. At this time, the spear in Longsheng's hand suddenly flew out of the martial arts arena and was inserted into the ground in the distance, while his body flew towards the edge of the ring. 7 Killing Fists. At this time, Yilin pursued the victory and punched Longsheng in the chest. Longsheng's body was like a kite with a broken string. He flew directly out of the ring and hit the ground in the distance. His life and death were unknown. At this time, the whole place was silent. Is this true? Come here, slap me. It's all fake. It's all fake. How could Mr. Longsheng be defeated so easily? Longxian, who was watching the battle from a distance, saw this scene and his expression froze. He never expected that the Dragon Saint, who he was so proud of, would be defeated by Yilin. Master Long, I think it's time to hand over these resources. At this time, Yilin turned his head and looked at Longxian in the distance. That's it, nephew Yi, please come with me. Hearing this, Longxian smiled and walked ahead, followed closely by Yilin. Master Nephew Yi is indeed very powerful. I admire him. I admire him. Seeing Longxian's hypocrisy on the side, Yilin's expression remained unchanged, but in fact he was sneering in his heart. Junior brother Yi, please look, these are the resources that my Long family has given me, a total of 500 low-grade spirit stones, 10 medium-grade spirit stones, 50 yellow-grade low-grade pills, 20 yellow-grade medium-grade pills, and 5 yellow-grade high-grade pills. As for the medicinal materials and treasures, they are all in it. Looking at the pile of things in front of him, Longxian introduced them with a painful face, and Yilin nodded. This is only 1/10 of what the Long family has gained in recent years. If it is multiplied by 10, these resources will just match what the Long family has gained in recent years. As for some errors, it doesn't matter. In that case, I'll take my leave. Yilin waved his hand, and all the resources in front of him disappeared. At this time, a strange color flashed in Longxian's eyes. After collecting them, Yilin walked towards the outside world. The task assigned to him by his master on this trip has been completed, and there is no need to stay in this so-called Long family. Junior brother Yi, take care. Master Long won't see you off. After Yilin disappeared into the sky, Longxian's face gradually darkened. At this time, the figure of the great elder appeared on the side. Master, my son's breath is weak now, all thanks to this kid. Why don't you let me go and kill him? Stupid, he just left my Long family and met with an accident on the way. When that happens, Qingshan sect will think of us first. And this boy is so powerful, he must have a good status in Qingshan sect, not just a simple disciple. When that happens, my Long family will become the first target of Qingshan sect suppression. Hearing this, Longxian angrily shouted at the great elder on the side. However, when I break through the Jindan stage, I will find back everything I lost today. Qingshan sect, wait, I, Longxian, will also get one of the overlord positions. Chapter 69 Xuanguang Tower. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Taking the resources, Yilin came to Qingshan sect. As soon as Yilin set foot on Dufeng, he saw Chu Shui standing on a big stone with her hands behind her hands, with a complicated expression on her face. Master, it's done. These are the resources handed over by the Long family this time. At this time, Yilin cupped his hands and saluted Chu Shui, then waved his hand, and a large number of resources appeared on the ground. I see, you did a good job, just go down with 3 middle-grade spiritual stones. Hearing this, Yilin's face was full of astonishment. These resources must pass through the hands of the sect leader, and no one else is qualified to interfere with them, and it was such a huge amount for 3 middle-grade spiritual stones, but the next moment, he understood that if the master did this, it meant that the secret contest between the master and the sect leader had officially begun. However, he didn't want to be involved in the secret contest between the two Jingdan stage bosses. The less he knew, the safer he would be. Thank you, master. After putting away the 3 middle-grade spiritual stones, Yilin bowed to Chu Shui, and then walked towards the bottom of Dufeng. I hope you won't disappoint me. Today's Qingyun sect is full of chaos. The only person I can trust is you. No stamp. Without looking at Yilin's back, Chu Shui murmured to herself, and that non-stamping mark was the most critical elixir to break through the golden elixir stage and cast the golden elixir. It's time to go to the Golden City. As long as I practice spiritual martial arts successfully, I won't have to worry about spiritual attacks anymore. Yilin was thinking in his heart while wielding his sword. Mental attacks are impossible to guard against. Once you master a high-level mental martial skill, a mid-stage foundation-building monk can completely kill a late-stage foundation-building monk. Arriving at the Golden City, Yilin stepped into it. Having been here twice, he had gradually become familiar with the terrain of the Golden City. The memory during the foundation-building period is extremely terrifying, and photographic memory is child's play. Following his memory, Yilin walked all the way towards the center of the city. All the buildings with the same name were usually in the center of the city. Arriving at the center, Yilin looked around. Apparently, there was a tall building standing on the left-hand side. This tall building was incompatible with other buildings, and on the plaque at the door, there are 3 big characters written clearly, Department Store. As soon as Yilin walked into the department store, a very beautiful woman came up to him. Hello sir, my name is Li Yanran. What do you need? Where is the most valuable thing you have here? That Yilin said to the woman in front of him. On the panel, Longxing came to this department store. He didn't pick up the lost money, he must have purchased it. Also, spiritual martial arts are so precious. Even high-grade Huang-level martial arts are more valuable than ordinary low-grade Xian-level martial arts. Sir, please come with me. Hearing this, Li Yanran's eyes lit up. It was obvious that she had met a big player. Following Li Yanran, the two of them arrived at the top floor and looked around. Every item here was separated by glass and was worth a lot of money. Sir, the items placed here are the most valuable items in our store. Please see what you need. Yilin nodded and then started looking around. Finally, at the very back, I found a simple book with 3 big characters written on it, Xuanguang Tower. How much is this? At this time, Yilin pointed at Xuanguang Tower and asked Li Yanran. Sir, these are worth 5 medium-grade spiritual stones. If you need it, sir, we can trade it. Hearing this, Yilin looked helpless. Sure enough, this thing is precious. 5 middle-grade spiritual stones. This is a posture that directly wipes out all his family wealth. However, Yilin finally gritted his teeth and took out 5 medium-grade spiritual stones and handed them to Li Yanran. I want this martial arts book, take it out for me. Okay sir, please wait a moment. Li Yanran put away the spirit stone with a happy face, and then slowly began to use special means to open the glass cover. Although he lost 5 middle-grade spiritual stones, Yilin didn't feel too distressed. After all, compared with spiritual martial arts, mid-grade spiritual stones are gone if they are gone. Sir, this is what you need. At this time, Li Yanran handed the Xuanguang Tower to Yilin. Thank you. After saying that, Yilin put away the Xuanguang Tower and walked towards the outside world. From the moment he stepped into the department store, he had been stared at by an aura from the late stage of foundation building, which made him feel uncomfortable all over. This made him sigh. This department store is not simple. Qingyun sect's personal biography. Not bad. In a room, an old man smiled slightly, holding the Xuanguang pagoda. Yilin hurried to Dufeng, sat cross-legged in his residence, activated the spirit gathering array, opened the Xuanguang pagoda in his hand, and started reading. In the blink of an eye, half an hour passed. I see. At this time, Yilin closed the martial arts in his hand. The so-called Xuanguang Tower refers to condensing a pagoda in the mind to protect the soul. Once it is attacked mentally, the the pagoda will automatically protect the soul and isolate all mental attacks. Spiritual martial arts are divided into defense and attack. Obviously, Xuanguang Tower is a defensive martial arts. Start practicing. While Yi Lin was practicing, on the other side, in a hall, Lin Zisheng looked at the masked man in front of him. Kill someone for me. Lin Zisheng said. Who to kill? That the masked man asked. A direct disciple of the Qingshan sect, Yi Lin. Hearing this, the masked man clicked his tongue in surprise, with a face full of mockery. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect that a direct disciple of the Qingshan sect would come to my sect to hire a killer to assassinate another direct disciple. This is the first time I have seen such a scene in so many years. Hearing the masked man's words, Lin Zisheng snorted with an unnatural look on his face. Would you accept this job? Yes, of course I will accept it. There is money to be made, so why can't I accept it? But at this time, the masked man smiled arrogantly. Yi Lin, let me see if you die this time. Lin Zisheng sneered inwardly. In the blink of an eye, 10 days passed. On this day, Yi Lin opened his eyes, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. This spiritual martial skill is indeed difficult to practice. Even I took 10 days to get started. Yi Lin murmured to himself that spiritual martial arts are much more difficult to practice than other martial arts, especially high-level spiritual martial arts. Even if you have it, you may not be able to practice it. But it's all worth it. Looking at the golden pagoda floating quietly in his mind, Yi Lin showed a smile on his face. From now on, he can resist all mental attacks at the golden core stage and below. As for those at the golden core stage and above, let alone mental attacks, he can't even catch a random slap. Disciple, are you here? At this time, Chu Shue's voice sounded outside the door. Master, I am here. At this time, Yi Lin hurried downstairs and opened the door, only to see Chu Shui wearing a white dress standing at the door. Master, please come in. Well, I'm here to tell you something. In half a month, the Longxian cave will be opened. You must be prepared. Hearing this, Yi Lin nodded. Master, I have heard about Longxian cave, but this matter does not require Master to go there in person, right? You don't understand, this time is different from the past. At this time, Chu Shui slowly sat on the stool, took the teacup next to her and started making tea for herself. Although there were some treasures in the Longxian cave in the past, most of them were inconspicuous things and could not be put on the stage. But it is said that this time, there will probably be a high-grade Xian-level base flower in the Longxian cave. I want you to help me get the base flower. Hearing this, Yi Lin was full of doubts. Master, what are those 100-color flowers? Chapter 70 Qingshan City was massacred. You are listening at novelfull.audio. That base flower is very useful to me. If possible, you must take it out. When the time comes, I can exchange it with you for a treasure of the same grade. I will do my best to help you with what Master needs. Yi Lin bowed slightly to Chu Shui and said that Chu Shui was now his biggest backer and had given him a lot of help. He would definitely help her. That's good. I believe you. After Chu Shui finished speaking, she stood up and walked out of the house. Only the fragrant breeze in the air remained. Looking at Chu Shui's disappearing back, Yi Lin touched his chin. He didn't understand what this base flower was. Go to the mission pavilion. Buying spiritual martial arts has exhausted my family's wealth. I need to take on a few missions to earn some spirit stones to supplement it. Then Yi Lin stood up and walked towards the sect. After arriving at the sect, the inner disciples were in a hurry, as if something big had happened. Brother Yi. At this time, one of the disciples saw Yi Lin and clasped his fists in a salute. Well, what happened? Brother Yi, half of the population of Qingshan City was massacred by evil cultivators last night. Now there are various tasks to kill evil cultivators in the task pavilion, and each reward is extremely rich. So everyone is busy taking tasks. Hearing this, Yi Lin looked at the top of the single peak. Chu Shui had already known about the Qingshan City incident. Could it be that the tragedy was still not stopped? You know, Qingshan city is not big, but it is not small either. Half of the population is nearly 100,000 people. How miserable is it that 100,000 people were massacred by evil cultivators? At this time, Yilin walked towards the task pavilion. At this time, Yilin, who had just stepped into the task pavilion, was blinded by the 5 great tasks in front of him. Brother Yi, are you going to take a task? At this time, Sun Xiao saw Yilin walking in. Well, which tasks have rich rewards? Take them out and let me see. Okay. After speaking, Sun Xiao began to sort them out, and then handed 3 tasks to Yilin. Brother Yi, please look, the first one is a 6th grade task, to kill 3 evil cultivators in the middle stage of foundation building hiding in Qingshan city, and the reward is 3 middle grade spirit stones. The second one is also a 6th grade task, to find the lower grade Qian level treasure, the Aurora sword, stored in the Qian family by Qingshan sect, and the reward is 3 middle grade spirit stones. The third one is a 5th grade task, to kill 20 evil cultivators with a minimum cultivation level of the 9th level of Qi training, and the reward is 200 lower grade spirit stones. Looking at the tasks handed over by Sun Xiao, Yilin pondered for a while. The fundamental reason why the evil cultivators and evil demons have not been eradicated until now is that no one wants to suffer. Even Qingshan sect, even though Qingshan city has been slaughtered, has not seen the elders go down the mountain to eliminate the demons, because they don't want to be the first to stand out. Evil cultivators are not soft persimmons. If they cause serious damage to their own vitality because of eliminating demons, then, what awaits them is to be slaughtered. Every demon eliminating operation was a big thunder and a small raindrop. No elders from any sect took action. The death of an elder in the late stage of foundation building would hurt even the Qingshan sect for a long time. To put it bluntly, the lives of mortals are nothing to these so-called practitioners. Then I'll take the first and third tasks. At this time, Yilin said to Sun Xiao. As for the second task, it was a waste of time. He could still kill people if you asked him to do it. As for finding things, who knows where the things went? Okay, senior brother, you just need to bring back the marks on them. At this time, Sun Zhao's face was happy. As the person in charge of the task pavilion, no one dared to take these tasks, which almost worried him to death. Now, someone took it. After collecting the tasks, Yilin went straight to Qingshan city. However, at this time, Qingshan city was full of corpses, and there were mummies everywhere, and the blood on their bodies seemed to be sucked dry by something. In the Qian family of Qingshan city, countless people in black robes stood in the main hall of the Qian family at this time. How is the situation? At this time, a black-robed person at the top said, with golden threads dotted on his black robe, and he was of high status at a glance. There are still more than 80,000 people in Qingshan city now, and it is expected that they will be killed within 1 day. Okay, after 1 day, we will retreat. Hearing this, the black-robed person at the top laughed. Humph, those so-called righteous people are all pretending. We have almost slaughtered all of Qingshan city, but they have not taken any action. Aren't they all like this? They don't care about the lives of these mortals unless their interests are endangered. Outside the city, Yilin just stepped into the city gate and smelled an extremely strong smell of blood. All around, there were dried corpses everywhere, which looked extremely terrifying. This evil cultivator, such a cruel method. Yilin frowned and murmured, and then continued to move forward. Who is it? At this time, a black-robed man shouted, and the next moment, a sword flashed, and the black-robed man fell to the ground. Holding his neck, Yilin retracted his right hand, and the long sword quietly floated behind him. The next moment, Yilin's figure suddenly disappeared. What happened? Who did it? At this time, 2 black-robed men hurriedly came here, and saw the black-robed man lying on the ground without any breath, and they were shocked. Someone is here, go and report it. After saying that, the 2 hurriedly left, and Yilin, holding the hidden god pearl, followed behind them. After tossing and turning, Yilin followed the 2 men to the Qian family. After a few steps, Yilin stood steadily on the wall. Looking around, There were dozens of black-robed people standing in the courtyard, holding the hidden god pearl. He could not be found even if he stood in front of the black-robed people. What a rampant evil cultivator, slaughtering Qingshan city under the nose of Qinyan sect, and still having a leisurely party. But 3 are in the middle stage of foundation building, 5 are in the early stage of foundation building, and the rest are in the Qi training stage. It's a bit difficult to deal with. After seeing the whole scene, Yi Lin said with a little toothache. Report, leader, one of our brothers died just now, and someone came from Qingshan city. Hearing this, the black-robed people in the courtyard changed their faces. Humph, what are you afraid of? Nowadays, no elders from the major sects and families have come down the mountain. Even if there are people, they are disciples. How can a disciple scare you like this? Pass my order, block the entire Qingshan city, pull out this little rat for me, and at the same time, kill all the other mortals for me. We can't stay here. At this time, the man with gold threads on his black robe said. Yes. After that, countless black-robed people went out and dispersed towards the surroundings of Qingshan city. I was just worrying about how to deal with you. Disperse, then I will defeat you one by one. Seeing this, Yi Lin's mouth corners rose, and then disappeared. You guys, go there to search, you guys, follow me. Deal with the middle stage of foundation building first, and then kill the early stage of foundation building. These high-end combat forces are dead, and the remaining Qi training stage is not to be feared. In the dark, Yi Lin stared at a middle stage of foundation building evil cultivator in front of him and muttered. Now. Suddenly, Yi Lin rushed out like a leopard with a long sword in his hand. Who is it? At this time, the black-robed man reacted immediately and was about to resist when his throat was pierced by a sword. You. The black-robed man pointed at Yi Lin with his eyes wide open. With his throat pierced, he couldn't say anything.